Hello everyone and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
I'm happy just doing what I'm doing.
Today in this video, we are going to take a look at very powerful single board computer. It does have a Intel 11th gen, Intel Celeron N5105, which clock goes up to 2.9 gigahertz. It's a 10 nanometer 10 TDP Intel CPU, which also comes with Intel integrated UHD graphics. It also can come with 16 gigabyte LPDDR4 RAM. There are options, and there is eMMC, flash SD card slot, NVMe SSD, SATA 3.0, and it supports dual 4K display, gigabit Ethernet. There is Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2. Even there are options with 4G LTE via the M.2 2230 E key. That being said, this is a Youyeetoo X1 x86 computer. I have no idea what is inside, but this is how it arrived. Okay, so let me grab the knife. Let's open this up. We got a bunch of antennas and the Wi-Fi module inside, which is RTL8852BE. And here we have Youyeetoo X1 SBC. It's very fair priced. It is $108. So it's nearly same price as a Raspberry Pi 5. Okay. It is a powerful Intel Celeron based SBC. Yeah, it comes with a power adapter, which is 12 volt 3 amp, pretty common. That's also beautiful. Windows 10, Windows 11 and Linux on a single board computer. Yeah, these are the things that I was going through, right? So the size is 115 millimeters by 75 by 22, and HDMI version is 2.0. We got, okay, because there is an Ethernet on board, which we're going to talk about it, but I see an Ethernet on here. That is nice. Basically, is it this slot? Maybe. Yes, I think it is for this. If you're not using the 4G LTE module, it turns this M.2 E key slot. If you don't want to use it for 4G LTE, you can use it and turn it into gigabit or 2.5. I can see the Ethernet chip. I can Google that. Hold on a second. H5084NL. Okay, so that's not it. That's just a transformer. Probably this chip, Intel S103L0. Okay, so it seems like this is a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. Okay, so keep that in mind, but we are going to check that. And then we have two SATA 3. So this is another module that you can buy from Youyeetoo. It comes with also two SATA. There you go. Okay, I've seen these. I actually have these for Raspberry Pi as well. So it turns the key that you're not using for 4G LTE. You can put this in there and turn this into two SATA ports. Okay, that's beautiful. This is the case. It's aluminium, whatever you want to call it. Lots and screws. There are some other metallic parts in here I can sense. Okay, so these are the sides and those are top and bottom. You can insert Youyeetoo X1 into this. So that's the orientation. Okay, there you go. So screws go there, 4 screws. And then this one, GPIO, is on the other side. So we are going to put it this way. And this one is LAN. Where is the LAN? LAN is on this side. So we put this over here. So you have to squeeze it in there. And that's the power connection. There you go. We put the front and the back, and this one goes on the top. Okay, like that. I'm not gonna put the screws, but this is how it's gonna look like. I'm not gonna do it because I am going to show you guys the GPIO, NVMe SSD, and all that stuff. But look how tight it is. I just tried to take it out. It's just still in there. I'm gonna do that case at the end, but very beautiful. So this is the tablet stand. Oh, I have one of these. I have exact same model. So you can assemble it and basically put this on a stand with this, with the screen. So this is the Youyeetoo MIPI 7-inch LCD screen, which is 1024 by 600. Yeah, here you go. That's the LCD. So thank you, Youyeetoo team, for sending all this over. So what I'm going to do, we will test these. Okay, M.2 E key and another one. This is another component. Let's see, what is this one? Okay, so USB to basically UART and all that connections. You can use it with JTAG, UART, I2C, CLSDA. So that's the different protocols that you can use with a USB-C cable, which is this one. Okay, so we'll come back because this one does have a UART. Probably that's what they said. I have my own cables, but it's fine. So let me put the knife away, and these are the antennas and the Wi-Fi card. So it seems like there is no onboard Wi-Fi, but when they were talking about Wi-Fi, they meant this. Okay, there are different types of antennas I see in there. So this is, as I said, RTL8825BE, which will go over here. And for the antennas, you can use these and basically screw these in there. And another one is this, which is like straight panel. This is easier with the case, but you can use these as well. But before all that, again, let's go back to the board. Let me grab my pen. Here we go. This is the Gigabit Ethernet. And here we have the PoE stuff for this Ethernet. And there is an NFC antenna over here. Okay, so this could be for the NFC actually. Yeah, that's not Wi-Fi. That's not the antenna. This is NFC. Okay, so this looks like an NFT RFID card. So yeah, this is for NFC. And this is the micro SD card slot. That's another PoE over here. Micro HDMI port over there. There is a microphone. I see that over here. This one is just a reset button. And this is a power connector. So if you don't want to use this bell jack for powering the board, you can use this. LED lights here, HDMI 2.0, a 3.5 headphone socket over here. Power key button is this one. Okay, and this is a speaker connection, the yellow one. The white one, this one is labeled LED. I guess you can connect different cables, LEDs, and control it in the code. So USB port 1 is this first blue, USB port 2 is the second blue one, UART 2, UART 1, and UART 3. And I2C is over here, the blue one. Then yellow one is again SPI. So that was the word, I wasn't remembering it. So SPI is over here. GPIO is this, and fan connector is already connected, and the heatsink is already installed on it. Okay, on the back, this is the SATA connector, proprietary. Then there is this MIPI DSI, M.2 M key, M.2 E key, which we covered, which they sent kindly multiple modules that we can use in here. There is RTC connector, and there is microphone over here. It's also labeled mic. Okay, so these are USB 3.0 and these are USB 2. I really like the style and looks, and comes with a cute bunny and a fan. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to connect everything. You connect this here. Okay, there we go. That's for the NFC. For the Wi-Fi, we are going to use the antennas. All right, give me a couple of minutes. Let me wire it up, connect the power connection, HDMI and mouse and keyboard, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have everything wired up, and first module, as I said, I'm gonna test is this Wi-Fi kit. And for NVMe SSD, I actually want to introduce you guys to this bad boy that I received. This is a Predator M.2 Gen 4 X4 NVMe SSD. It is very fast. I am using it, as you can see, 7400 and 6700 megabits per second. This is what I've been using in my other machine, and honestly, I don't really feel the difference between this and a Samsung 990 Pro. The price though is a big difference. This is much better, much cheaper, but it gives you the similar or better performance than that Samsung or any other similar NVMe SSDs. So I am going to use this with this SBC. Let's install this on this Youyeetoo X1 SBC. It comes with this thermal pad that you can use. Oops, beautiful. And you will see the speeds now once we test it. Okay, so everything is ready. I am going to plug this in. Okay, so fan started, and you can see the power consumption. Okay, there you go. We are in the BIOS, and as you can see, Jasper Lake ULX Intel Celeron, and idle in BIOS, it's 15 watts, but it will drop once we go into the OS. And as you can see, the memory is 8 gigabyte and 2933 is the memory speed. Whoa, wow, that's a lot of settings. I was not expecting that from this SBC, but okay. Virtualization is enabled by default, Enhancements, CPU power control, turbo performance is enabled already, default. GT power, thermal configuration. You can play around all these things. Firmware settings, ACPI, trusted computing. That's how you can install Windows 11. By the way, this USB, as you can see, I downloaded from their website. There's some tweaks. Okay, so 35 Celsius seems like. There's some things you have to do to prepare Windows 11 installer USB. We will install it on the internal eMMC and use the NVMe SSD as well. So I'm just going to walk through all these options, so make sure you guys see it all. RAM disk, and this is the Realtek gigabit Ethernet, and hopefully M.2 is, as I guessed, 2.5. Anyway, let's get into the operating system. We will see. Oh my god, there is so much options over here. Everything is enabled for you to play around. This is amazing. I don't think I've seen any SBC this size with this much BIOS settings that you can play around. Oh yeah, it's comprehensive. Everything is in there. Okay, so hopefully you guys are satisfied. I know I go a little bit fast, but you can pause the video and look for the things that you wanted to see. I try my best. I want to make sure that videos don't get too long, you know, and boring. So anyway, let's go to the boot and override it with the, oh, hold on. They already shipped it with Windows? Okay, first of all, let's try the Windows that they ship it with before I install mine. I also have a USB prepared for Ubuntu. Okay, so as you can see, oh, there you go. Boot menu key is F7, by the way. Okay, this is try or install Ubuntu. Is that the Ubuntu USB I made? Okay, let's try Ubuntu. Okay, so we are back and I booted into Ubuntu, and I just want to show you the NeoFetch first. Ubuntu 22 is running on X1 SBC from Youyeetoo, and Intel Celeron N5105 at 2.9, and Jasper Lake UHD graphics is there. 8GB RAM is also there. So one of the first things I always do is stress NG. Okay, as you can see, it goes up to 22 watts. Okay, I just want to also show you guys the temperatures over here and rerun the stress NG test real quick. I just want you to see that's 22.5. A little bit the heatsink is hot, but nothing crazy. As you can see, it's 65, 66. Didn't exceed 69, which is nice. All right, I already ran the test. So as you can see, we are getting 14,000. So just for reference, in Raspberry Pi 5, you will get 870 to 900 in this very same test. So more than 10 times in this particular test. And if we do Sysbench as well, it doesn't go all the way up, goes to 19, 18 watts, and temperatures are also doesn't go that much up, but yeah, we are getting 5,000 and 6,000. So that's weird, but again, stress NG is a better test. Another thing I wanted to test is the Ethernet. Let's test that. Okay, so it's a little bit slower than a gigabit. It goes to 13 watt, by the way. So I was expecting, to be honest, a little bit higher. It's a little bit slower than a regular typical gigabit Ethernet. Still super fast, you see the numbers, but it is a little bit slower than the typical gigabit Ethernet. And another thing I just want to test, oh yeah, it detected the NVMe SSD. And now I just want to test the speed. Power consumption. Oh wow, okay. What I was expecting from this board, not the NVMe SSD. In a computer with PCIe Gen 4 and X4 port, you will have even higher speeds than this. But yeah, this is what we're getting. And if we do LSPCI, okay, so here it is. Probably I didn't see the Wi-Fi. That the wireless is there, but I don't see the Wi-Fi adapter. I can do IP addr too, but anyway. Okay, so yeah, it just detected the Ethernet and not the Wi-Fi card. So that one was RTL something something. I have to find probably a driver for it. Let me see. Okay, so we are back. I booted into Windows that they ship it with. I didn't do anything special. I just booted into Windows. And as you can see in the Windows that they ship with, the Wi-Fi card is detected, the Ethernet is detected, and everything is working out of box. And I did a bunch of tests as well here. You can see the crystal disk. This is the D drive. It's the NVMe SSD, and those are the numbers that I'm getting. Very impressive. I told you guys about this, right? Here is the 3D Mark score, and this is roughly okay for 5105 Intel Celeron. So it just shows you that it's not throttling. And in terms of gaming, this is not for really gaming. I just want to show you a couple of simple examples, games that can run relatively okay-ish finish and this SBC. One is the Euro Truck Simulator 2, and I think it was running like 30, 40, 50 FPS. Let's look at this, and as you can see, 30 FPS. So that's the Euro Truck Simulator. This is the disk results and 30 mark. So another one is the Super Meat Boy, and what you can do is you can also use a joystick, and let me plug that in, okay, and open up this Super Meat Boy, and you'll see. Okay, there you go. As you can see, I am getting 60 FPS on this. Okay, on Super Meat Boy, and you can play games like this, not necessarily this, with this SBC with no problem in Windows 11. And power consumption was always on the screen, as you saw. And another thing I want to do is, I know you guys told me you shouldn't be doing iPerf 3 in Windows, but let's just do. Okay, see, so that could have been a driver issue in Ubuntu. We were getting like lower numbers, lower than a gigabit, but here in Windows we are getting actually gigabit. And let me connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, so I connected to Wi-Fi and I am removing the Ethernet. As you can see, there is no more Ethernet. And let's rerun the test and test the Wi-Fi speeds. All right, that's much better. So 600 megabits per second, I am getting Wi-Fi speeds on this bad boy. So far, for $100 computer, every single thing is working perfectly with no trouble, no issues. Let me show you a couple more things. Okay, I got something that's I've never seen before. It's very, very interesting. There is a Windows driver development examples over here, and you can even get the source code from them where you can control GPIO in Windows. That is impressive. That's amazing. I don't recall a single SBC with GPIO with support for Windows. It's usually almost always in Linux. So here I just want to show you one example that I just hopefully everything will work, but I'm gonna try. Honestly, didn't try any of it. I just saw it in there. As you can see on the screen, there is a documentation and they tell you the pinout. So okay, as you can see, this is the GPIO, okay, and the one that is closer to the yellow is ground. That's the pin number 6, okay. So I'm gonna put this in there, the ground, and the first pin is actually pin number 1. I'm gonna use the first pin. So let's do that. Okay, and let's measure the voltage. Right now it's already on high. So GPIO H19 is the pin number 1. So I'm going to set the value to 0 and write. Wow, that is awesome. I know it's not much, I understand, but in Windows, then with this driver code and everything, it's nice. I like it. So if we put the value to 1 and write, there you go. That's awesome. The documentation is beautiful. You see, I figured it out all together as we were here. I didn't do it before, so it's so nice, very nice. So as you can see, this is what I downloaded. This is literally this app, as you can see on the screenshot, and there is also the full source code that they are sharing. So there is more documentation, the explanation on how to do, you know, Windows driver development and driver signature and all that stuff that you can do. I2C, SPI, NFC development, everything is in right there. So if you go to NFC, yeah, so I just guessed it. I didn't know, but I guessed it right. So this is the NFC antenna. Okay, so with all that being said, let me swap the M.2 and try the other components that they sent and see how it goes. I will be right back. Okay, so I connected this LCD screen, but seems like you have to update the BIOS in order to enable the screen. Right now it doesn't work, so I'm just following the guide as you can see on the screen. Oh, okay, so it seems like I have to download the BIOS file separately than this app, and it is this one, I believe. I am going to put that in BIOS folder and refresh. No. All right, so here it looks like we have this one, 8 GB version with microphone, and I want to enable the MIPI LCD. So this should be the file name, and if I find this in the zip that I just downloaded, it should be 01 and S8. Should be this one. I am going to copy that and put into the BIOS folder of this app and refresh. There you go. Now it is detected. So let's upgrade. Okay, seems like it is going through. I can see the backlight is on this, so I know the cable and everything is connected correctly. But when I go to like device manager, I don't see even a device that is missing a driver. It's not there. So I think we have to just follow what they are saying, which is installing the BIOS update. That hopefully will enable it. And by the way, I tried to enable this. I don't know what I'm missing. I couldn't enable the Ethernet on this M.2 E key, but everything else has been working fine. I showed you guys. All right, restart. Okay, so shut down, restart. Let's see if just the restart will do it. If we bricked our X1, or it is just going to boot. And you see it just went dark because we restarted, and then when the computer starts booting, this backlight comes on but nothing on it. So let's see. There you go. So we are booting into Windows. I see my screen is exactly that. So now right now they are mirror, and I can go in Windows hopefully. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, I got everything to work except this add-on, and I'm sure there is some explanation to get that work. Let's see, is it touch? Oh wow, that is also working with a single cable. Beautiful. I didn't install anything, it's just working. That is amazing. That's awesome. Let's go to displays. Let's see if we can, instead of mirroring, if I can have it as an extended display as well. Of course I can. It is duplicate now. I can change it. This is awesome. See, touch screen is also working and it's snappy. Very nice. Big thumbs up. I showed you a little bit of the GPIO. I showed you everything in Windows. I showed you Ubuntu as well. Did some benchmark. Screen is working. Touch screen is working. Driver BIOS update I showed you. So the documentation, the wiki page for X1 is also I showed you, and I will put the links down below, and I will put the links for this one as well. Big thumbs up absolutely to Youyeetoo team. I'm just impressed. I'm impressed. I just want to say that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions down below. If I don't know the answer, at least I can even get in touch with the company. But yeah, I will try my best to answer all the comments you guys leave. So yeah, feel free to drop a comment and questions. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.